Hey YouTube, Nick Too Sick here, back with another California Delta fishing video. It's the middle of November. It's time for the California Delta fishing report for November, you guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's been a good month. It's been an emotional month. It's been a roller coaster, and with that being said, it's a special time of year, and if you aren't fishing, you need to be out here. This is a good time of year to catch all species in the Delta. Pretty much the best, in my opinion. For those of you who regularly follow the channel, know that I am largely a largemouth bass guy. Come November, December, January, February, I do switch it up a little bit, you guys. I start going for striper and crappie a lot more in these winter months. So with that being said, I'm gonna do a video that covers everything this month. So first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, it has been cold, cold, cold. I wake up every morning to go fishing. It's about 40 degrees, really cold, not a lot of wind. We're getting a lot of fog, and obviously California is having some of the worst fires in its state history right now. So those of you wondering about the smoke on the Delta, absolutely 100%. The Delta has been smoked out for over a week now. The sun has not been coming out, so it's been staying cold all day. Like I said, I get out on the water. It's about 40 degrees with an outgoing tide, which is, not really ideal for me. Fishing the high to low tide, it's been coming out really quickly, and we have been getting some really, really low tides this month, so that has been challenging. In addition to everything I've already said, the conditions have still been fishable. You see a lot of people out here still fishing despite all the smoke and all that. The water is very, very clear right now. The visibility is pretty much as high as it ever gets. The water's very, very clear right now. But with all the smoke and fires and the weather and everything, it's been fishing a lot like an overcast month this month. So I've been throwing a lot of reaction baits this month, and that seems to be where the bite is with the striper and with the largemouth. So with that being said, the number one bait that I'm throwing right now, I've talked about this bait before on my channel. Highly recommended. I got a Blade Runner Spin Tricks. This is a 1/2 ounce Blade Runner Spin Tricks. It's basically just an underspin. Here I have a gold one with a gold paddle tail on it. I've been just throwing this everywhere, casting and retrieving it, trolling it, everything I can. That'll net you some really, really nice bass. Largemouth and striped bass both eat that very, very good. I've been catching a lot of fish on that this month. I'm throwing gold because of the low sunlight level with all of the fires going on. I've been getting bit a little bit better with gold. It'll catch that little bit of sunlight better and stand out better in these overcast type conditions, especially in the clear water. I haven't just been throwing that though. I got my 2-pole license, so I'll troll both of these. This is the same thing, 1/2 ounce Spin Tricks, just a nice Kitech paddle tail on there. This one's silver, so that's what you're going to want to be throwing is, either gold or silver. A lot of guys throw silver. That's why a lot of the times I'll elect to throw gold, stand out a little bit different. And personally, you guys, when I fish, the main rivers, I see a lot of gold shiners, especially on the Sacramento River. So that's going to get me into my next point about the different areas of fishing, because I have noticed a lot of inconsistency. In short, you guys, if you are looking for striped bass, you need to stick to the Sacramento River. That is where the striped bass are, from all the way from Big Break, the Antioch Bridge area, up into Sacramento. I've been fishing everywhere in between. I've launched from, out of Clarksburg boat ramp. This month I've launched out of Freeport. That's all the way up in Sacramento, you guys. Freeport, right off of the 5. I've also launched out of Wimpy's this month, so I've been doing a lot of fishing up north, chasing these striped bass. And with that being said, the largemouth bite is not good on, on the Sacramento River. I mean, I'm not saying you can't catch them. I have caught largemouth, but, being from the East Bay area, being largely an old river guy, there are not a lot of largemouth bass on the Sacramento River. So if you're looking for striper, stick to the Sacramento River. If you're looking for those Delta Greens, the largemouth bass, fish Old River and the McCollum rivers, and you will notice a difference. So, in addition to the underspins, I've been throwing these a lot this month, but the bait that I feel like I have been doing even a little bit better on, even as not recently, especially before the fires, we were getting a lot of wind, and the chatterbait bite has been on fire, you guys. White chatterbait has been pretty much out fishing a lot of other things. When I'm not using it, somebody else I'm fishing with is using it, and they're catching more fish than me a lot of days. So a chatterbait, despite the clear water, they are hitting this chatterbait, these reaction baits good. And it's a pretty quick bite. I'm throwing it out, and if I turn the reel handle about 10 times and don't get bit, I'm probably not going to. They're not really chasing the bait all the way back to the boat, so I'm hucking my bait in there. I'm retrieving it about 25% of my cast is really the strike zone where I'm getting bit. It's very irregular when I get bit, beyond that initial 25% retrieval. I mean, sometimes they'll come snatch it at your feet. That's a lot of fun. But like I said, the water's so clear that I think they're seeing the boat. There are, you need to get that cast out there a little bit further and, try to react them fairly quickly after that bait enters the water. I'm also throwing a gold chatterbait, you guys. I love gold. I love gold, all right? There's so many gold shiners in the Delta. If you're not throwing gold, you're just limiting yourself. So this duo has just been killing it, as you can see. Silver and gold there, silver and gold here. Having a lot of success with that. In addition to those, I'm, still, you guys, I'm throwing my one-hit wonder, my trusty little 3/8 ounce white spinnerbait. Never lets me down. The chatterbait has been out fishing it, though, for me this month. For whatever reason, I'm getting a bit better on the chatterbait, but I still have caught some good fish on this. So, those white reactionary baits are working really, really well. Another bait I've been throwing is a jerk bait. This is a ghost minnow jerk bait, kind of clear. You can sort of see through it. It's got a little pink line on it, as you can see there. Help trigger strikes. And this floats, so I'll throw it out there, twitch it around a little bit, retrieve it, stop it. This is a suspending jerk bait, so this will just suspend in the water column wherever you leave it. So I'll retrieve it and pause this, retrieve it, pause, and this is always going to get you bit in cold water situations. Very, very, very good bait. Catching striper mostly on this, but I do get a lot of largemouth. When those bait balls come in and it's feeding time and you get a feeding frenzy, those largemouth get in there with the striper, you guys, and you'll just start nailing them. So you'd be surprised on the largemouth you will catch when fishing for striped bass with, a jerk bait. I love fishing a jerk bait. It's a lot of fun because they hit it. When that bait is not moving, it's suspended. It's a little bit different than a bait that you just constantly retrieve, because you'll retrieve it, stop, let it sit 5, 10, even 15 seconds. The more patient you are, the better chance you have of getting bit, because you're going to be teasing that bass. And the longer you let it sit there, the more it wants to hit that bait. It realizes, okay, this bait is slipping, it's teasing me, it's just asking for it, I want to eat it. So don't move it too fast, let it sit there. And I really, really like getting bit on the jerkbait, because you're just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, bam, they come grab it and take off with it, and it's a very, very violent attack. And it's a lot different than a reactionary bite where you're going, and you're like, boom, you know, you're letting it sit there, and then just out of nowhere, it just gets crushed. A lot of fun, you guys. A lot of fun. Big striper coming through. You know, following the bait is going to be the #1 key for you guys to find these striper. On the American River, I've been following these shad all the way from, you know, Antioch up into Ryde, into Isleton, all the way up into Walnut Grove. You guys on that American River, just follow the shad. You know, you'll see a lot of other boats. The boats are highly concentrated in those areas. So, you know, you can rely a lot on other guys who are fishing out there, because you could see the dead areas where there's no birds flying around, there's no bait, there's no boats. You know you're in a dead area. But when you're in an area where you see, you know, some competition with boats, and you're seeing birds and you're seeing the shad, you know you're in the right area. So keep that in mind, you guys. One more bait I have to show you this month, actually two, are going to be, you know, ones that are timeless and trusty for me. And that's going to be the Rattle Trap. I always got a Rattle Trap this time of year. Casting and burning that, yo-yoing it. Striper, absolutely love this. And so do the largies. You know, this is more of a high tide bait for me. Like I said earlier, when I get out on the river this month, it's been a lowering tide. And, you know, the fish have been sucking down, and I've been fishing a lot deeper with these other type of baits. But when the water column is high and I'm able to get in there and fish to my strengths, then I am throwing this Rattle Trap up in the rocks, and I'm just skirting it, and getting some reaction bites on that. I'll even throw these in the toolies, you guys, on high tide. I'll throw them in the toolies, try to pull them through there, yo-yo them. It gets, I mean, these are treble hooks, obviously. It gets stuck sometimes on the toolies, but you know what? 15, 20-pound fluorocarbon, you should be able to rip it right out of there and get your bait back. So don't be afraid to throw that Rattle Trap into cover. In addition to everything else I'm throwing first thing in the morning, I forgot to mention, which, you know, I always do, is I fish top water. Right now I am I'm throwing the Bill Lewis stutter step. If I could just get this untangled right here, as you can see. This is my top water bait for striper. I love this bait. It looks like a nice fish boiling at the top of the water column. And the reason why I like this bait is it's really heavy with some really, really big hooks, you guys. I can trust the hooks on this bait. Treble hooks are, I'm not really a fan of them. I've caught a lot of big fish that have bent out my treble hooks. So that's why a lot of you guys see me throwing these single hook applications. Single hook applications are a lot more stronger and sturdier to catch that fish and get it in the boat. So that's why I don't throw a lot of treble hook baits. And when I do, I always make sure I upgrade the hooks. The Bill Lewis hooks, I feel like, are good. The hooks on these stutter steps are good. You can catch a 20-pound striper on here and not have to worry about those hooks bending out. With the Rattle Trap, these also, they have improved the hooks over time as well. But still, I will switch these out, you guys. I will tell you what, when you catch the biggest striper you've ever seen in your life, and it bends out all 6 hooks on your Rattle Trap, then you'll feel as I've felt. This is something that's happened to me. The biggest striper I've ever had the chance to catch was on was on a rattle trap. You guys, I'm not lying. This was a 40-pound striper I caught on a rattle trap. This was many, many years ago. And this thing jumped in the air, and I lost it, you guys. I saw it about 20 yards out. I knew how big it was, and these hooks came back straight as an arrow. So I recommend upgrading your hooks if you are going to be fishing for striper, because there are some really, really big striper out here. So I think that's going to cover it. Get out there, start throwing these baits. You know, the weeds are starting to back off. The hydrilla is dying off. You can see the hyacinth and the topwater vegetation is starting to break up and float away. So these trouble hooks are coming out, you guys, and it's time. So that's going to be it for the month. If you're wondering about the pan fishing, you guys, right now I'm throwing slow-moving baits. The crappie are not really reacting to minnows right now. I'm throwing jigs and baits off of the bottom. The slower-moving type of baits are catching the crappie right now. So thanks again for everybody watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, concerns, any comments, you know, feel free to comment, and I do my best at, you know, getting to comments. And if you guys have anything else, any input, this is a community channel. Feel free to let everybody else know anything that I might have missed about the month, guys. So thanks again for watching, and I'll appreciate all of you. Stay safe out there, you guys. California is burning down right now, and it's a real unfortunate and emotional situation. So special shout out to all those people going through a lot right now, you guys. Fishing can beat your depression. Fishing can help you with your problems. It'll make you feel better about yourself. You get your head clear, and you know, the only thing that matters when you're fishing is catching fish. So I wish you all the best coming into the holiday season. And like I said, I'll see you guys out there on the Delta.